Have you ever just really stared at the front of your debit or credit card? We literally carry them everywhere. And if you shop online, you've probably typed out those exact 16 digits hundreds, maybe even thousands of times. But have you ever actually stopped to wonder what those numbers mean? It's so easy to just write them off as some random assigned serial number. But the reality, it is absolutely mind-blowing. Those digits are definitely not random. They're a highly engineered, globally recognized secret code. Welcome to this explainer, where we're going to decode the hidden structure of your everyday payment card. So what actually happens when you type those 16 digits? Think about it. It's such a simple everyday action. You fill up your digital cart, pull out your plastic, and just start typing. But what really goes down the second you hit checkout? How does a website know exactly who you are, what bank to talk to, and whether you actually have the cash to buy that item, all in a fraction of a single second? Well, it all starts with the structure of the number itself. Okay, let's dive into this. We're going on an anatomy and action journey today. First, we'll uncover the secret code inside, then map the anatomy of a card number. After that, we're navigating the payment journey, clarifying card number versus CVV, discussing how to protect your financial identity, and finally, looking at the virtual card future. Section 1, the secret code inside. First, digits matter. You see, these numbers aren't just thrown together. They are part of a massive, highly structured global payment infrastructure. It all kicks off with the very first number on your card. We call this the Major Industry Identifier, or MII. Seriously, take a look at your card right now. Does it start with a 4? If it does, boom, the payment network instantly knows it's a Visa card. What if it starts with a 5? That tells the system it's a MasterCard. A 3? That's an American Express. And a 6 means it's Discover. Just from that single initial keystroke, the worldwide payment infrastructure instantly routes your transaction to the correct global network. Wild, right? Section 2, anatomy of a card number. Beyond the network. Let's move from that single first digit to the broader structure of the rest of the numbers. All right, let's look at the first 6 digits as a whole. Together, these form what we call the Bank Identification Number, or BIN for short. Some folks also call it the Issuer Identification Number. These crucial first digits are basically your routing system. They tell the global network exactly which bank issued the card and which financial institution is ultimately on the hook for the funds. Right off the bat, before you've even typed the second half of your card number, the internet already knows exactly which bank vault it needs to virtually knock on. Now, what's really interesting about this next part is what happens once the system knows your bank. It then needs to know exactly who you are. The digits following the BIN, usually digits 7 through 15, make up your personal account number. This is a totally unique sequence assigned by your issuing bank. It separates your checking or credit account from millions of other customers at that exact same bank. It's basically your own specific digital fingerprint inside their system. And then we reach the grand finale, the very last digit. Now, this isn't actually part of your account number. It's known as the check digit. Think of it as a mathematical bouncer. It uses this really clever formula called the Lun algorithm. When you type in your 16 digits, this algorithm runs a super quick math check in the background. If you made a typo, say you accidentally hit a 7 instead of an 8, the algorithm instantly realizes the math doesn't add up. It tells you the card number is invalid on the spot, completely saving the network from trying to process a totally fake account. Section 3, navigating the payment journey. What happens in seconds? Let's transition from the anatomy of the card to the lightning-fast action of an actual online transaction. This is an incredibly rapid-fire sequence. Ready? First, the merchant sends your card number to a payment processor. Second, that processor identifies the network, say Visa or MasterCard, based on that very first digit we talked about. Third, the network contacts your issuing bank using the bank identification number. Fourth, the bank looks up your personal account number and verifies if you actually have the available balance. And finally, step 5, the transaction is either approved or declined. Boom. All of those complex digital handshakes happen in the background in mere seconds, literally while you're just staring at a little spinning loading wheel on your screen. Section 4, card number versus CVV. Routing versus security. Let's pause for a second because there is a massive point of consumer confusion here regarding the different strings of numbers printed on your card. And it brilliantly illustrates the massive difference between the two. We've got the 16-digit card number on one side and that tiny little CVV code on the other. Your 16-digit card number is purely for routing. It identifies your account and directs the transaction traffic. The CVV, however, is purely for security. It's that 3 or 4-digit code usually printed on the back.
It exists solely to prove to the merchant that you actually have the physical card right there in your hand. This prevents someone who just guessed or somehow scraped your routing digits from buying things without your permission.
And just to complete the trio of data you need to check out online, we have the expiry date. This is simply the printed date, indicating the specific window of time your card remains valid for active transactions. These three elements, the 16 digits, the CVV, and the expiry date, they all work together as a three-pronged security check to make sure your payments are locked down and secure. Section 5. Protecting your financial identity. Security tips. Let's pivot for a second and talk about the inherent vulnerabilities of exposing your physical card number out there on the wild west of the internet. Because your 16-digit card number is essentially your entire financial identity, typing it into websites carries real risk. So the standard best practices are absolutely crucial here. Always avoid sharing your card number on unsecured websites. Stick to trusted payment gateways, for sure. It's also vital to monitor your bank statements regularly for any weird, suspicious transactions. And importantly, never ever store your card details on unknown or shady platforms. You really don't want your digital fingerprint resting on a server that isn't highly secure. Section 6. The virtual card future. Modern solutions. Let's move to and see how this builds into the evolution of payment cards, going from exposed plastic to highly secure digital solutions. Because honestly, typing out your physical card number everywhere, it's rapidly becoming a thing of the past. Modern financial services now offer virtual cards. These are temporary or unique 16-digit numbers generated specifically just for online payments. And the benefits are massive. You get a significantly reduced exposure of your main bank account details. You get way greater control over online subscriptions because you're using a card you can just cap or delete whenever you want. You get the ability to disable the card instantly right from an app. Overall, it just provides vastly improved security for your whole online shopping experience. Now, if you're looking to actually upgrade your digital security, CardUpNow makes online payments simple, secure, and instant with virtual cards you can absolutely trust. You can easily compare and launch their high-security Visa, MasterCard, and CardUp Elite virtual cards to fit your exact global payment needs. Stop risking your primary bank details online, guys. Head over to CardUpNow.com to generate your secure virtual card right now. We've seen how brilliantly engineered those 16 digits are. But we also know just how vulnerable they can be when exposed across the internet. So I'll leave you with this final provocative thought. In a world of constant data breaches and online fraud, is it time your physical card became invisible? Upgrading to virtual cards might just be the smartest financial move you can make today. Thanks for joining me on this explainer, and hey, stay secure out there.